Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the morning program from the Dailies on Echo Television. Africa is the 30th of May 2022, and the program is from the Dailies. I am Sarah Elisha Dashok. I have Tosu Wolabi with me, and also I have Engineer Tony J. Nakadi. Good morning.
I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you here. Good morning, Tosin.
Good morning, Sarah.
Yes, we have quite a number of stories on our papers this morning. The weekend has been quite eventful, if you would agree with me, looking at the primaries and, will I call it a shortcoming from the aspirants that actually were there to queue up, and the fact that we finally had Abubakar Atiku that emerged with about 371 votes, and that was quite, if you look at the time, looking at over 700 delegates that were there to vote for him, you will agree with me that he actually he made it, and we're just keeping our fingers crossed to see what will be. So I don't know, what comment do you have when you look at the delegates, the primaries, especially that looking at on Saturday primaries?
I know on Friday we spoke about delegates and how they are involving themselves in messy act, and now we saw what happened in the primaries, because I followed the primaries. Huriwa are saying it's out of it, it's not supposed to be so. If you are going to give out your vote to Atiku, then you should not come out to give your speech, because Nigerians were waiting for this speech. Those 14 aspirants, they came out and gave their speech, and later on you are saying you are giving out your vote to Atiku. But we still keep our fingers crossed. We still have other parties, we still have other aspirants that are coming up. This is just the beginning for the presidential primaries. We still are hopeful and looking out for other parties and even other aspirants. And this should not be like a source of discouragement to Nigerians. People should not be discouraged with what is happening with the act of delegates also, because even all through the program, we saw delegates sleeping. They were just waiting. Even all through when the manifestos were being read, delegates were sleeping because they were just waiting for the time for election. And now we can see that all those people are coming up to see delegates involve themselves in some messy acts, and now which had to do with involvement of money, because Huriwa and Pandev were saying Atiku Abubakar gave them a lot of money. It is alleged that Atiku gave them a lot of money, and that is why whoever gave the bigger share is one that is going to come out as the party representative. But we still look out for other parties. Then Nigerians should not be discouraged. This is the time for you to get your PVC and put your hands on deck for the person you vote in to power.
You know, actually, when I was, we discussed it also on National Talk, and looking at the fact that it seems it's more like money politics is what is actually taking place presently, because if we're saying the delegates are the one that we've handed over our fate, because we cannot all go there to select or possibly elect a person who will emerge as the party bearer for whichever party, and we're seeing that the delegates are there sleeping, so it's more like it's your money that is playing out for you. So it's to the highest bidder, whoever is ready or willing to have the big amount or ready to give money, then he or she will be the one to emerge. So we say we're going to fight corruption, and looking at the way things are going, so you begin to ask questions: where is the fight on corruption? Where is EFCC in all this? If we are aware that money is circulating, it's more like buying our votes, then where are they?
Yes, the EFCC came into they came to the event center, but they said they came to check on how activities were going on, but forgetting the fact that they were aware that something like that happened, because delegates were in the event right from the early hours of the program. And we even read on our papers where delegates were locked in hotels. They were just being fed, and their phones were not with them. So you can see so many things were just like activities were unfolding before those primaries took on. Even with the presence of EFCC, nobody was arrested, but they said they came to see how the activities were going on. But we still look up to EFCC. They know that something like that happened. Money was in circulation even in the event center. So something needs to be done. If we say we're kicking out corruption, if we say we're going to fish out people who are into corrupt acts, then even starting from the primaries, we need to fish those people, then Nigerians also, this is time for us to shine our eyes, because we are going through a whole lot. We cannot allow the issue of money to wipe our conscience out of all these things. It's not about the issue of money. We have issue of insecurity. That's why different participants said they are going to wipe out issue of insecurity. They're going to look out for ways they can provide infrastructure and even the economy of our country. But we've had all these promises and nothing is happening up to now. So we should not allow our conscience to be bought. The delegates, we are really like, I can't even say what I'm feeling concerning what the delegates are doing, because you are sent to represent people like the 774 local governments, and you are representing all these local governments. Then you can do something like that when people gave you people believed in you to go and represent them even at the forefront of these primaries. Then something like this is happening. But we just look out at other parties and other delegates that are representing other parties. They should do the right thing. They should do the needful. If we keep on saying we need to justify our action, we need to look out for integrity in things we are doing, then you should start from the little positions you are given.
True.
I
think we should go into the papers, because Tosi is angry already. Tosi is angry, and is something so pathetic that if you have money, you can be in power. And nobody is telling us why they are spending this much money to become president, to become governor, to become senator, to become this and that. If you are spending money because you want to make Nigeria better, you see, hunger played a very vital role in this, in the 2023 proceedings towards elections in Nigeria. You see, if a delegate is as rich as a candidate, the candidate has no power over the delegate. But the delegates came with their hunger. And then I saw somebody being celebrated for buying a car, and what kind of car is it? It's a Camry, 2009 or 2008. You could tell that in his life, they were jumping, celebrating it on social media. You could tell that all his life, he had never had a car like that. Hunger, poverty. Now, the candidates, what are they doing to make the lives of people better? We had a show about Deborah, the girl that was killed, and the General Secretary of ECA said something on the show. He said, these people that are spending this much money to become, they should tell us why is the position so priceless. Now I'm paraphrasing what he said. The exact words he used, I can't remember, but he said, what is so precious about Nigeria that you want to tell us why you are spending this much money to become? Is it that you love us so much that you want to rescue our situation? Tosin, I've never been a fan of any politician, like since I was young. But now look at the incidents and tell me, someone spent, I don't know how true it is, I was not there, but someone spent as it was said, $40,000 or $30,000 on a delegate. And people right next to your house are hungry. You are not a good leader. You can't convince me doing otherwise when you get to position. You can't, ma. If you have this much money, do you know that Nigeria is in debt of how much? Trillions of naira, of dollars. And how much did we spend over becoming title or office title holders in offices? How much did we spend in the history of 2023 elections in Nigeria? How much did we spend? Now let's look at that vis-a-vis let's look at that, and on the other side, let's look at the credit that Nigeria is owing as a nation. I'm not saying everybody should gather money to pay, but I'm just letting you know that we will borrow much more money. Because the reason for the borrowing, we are having an idea right now that they borrowed the money to do this. It's playing out. If one person would gather 774 people and give each one of them 30,000 US dollars, as it was rumored, I don't know how true. You can hold us to that. So let's assume that one person can do that. Now, the same Atiku that wants to be president is the same Atiku that was vice president for 8 years, and he couldn't do the road to his village. He couldn't do the road linking Gombe to that road is a dead trap. He couldn't do that 8 years as vice president. Excuse me. One time, President Olusegun Obasanjo came out to say the money Atiku stole as his vice president. He said that one time that it can feed 300 million people for 400 years. I don't know how true that is, but he said that. And did you think this is not just Atiku. It's almost everybody that is into into this. Did you ever think about it that every election year Atiku is contesting and he's spending as much money? Someone that has been out of office for how long? Do you get the point? He's been out of office for how long? Now, what are these people doing? What kind of businesses are they into? If you mention Dangote now, you will know that, in your house you see his sugar. In your house you see his noodles. In your house you see his cement bag. In your house, what are these people doing that we are not aware of? Nigerians have to start thinking. If someone can spend this much money, yet the people that are voting them are hungry,